Today on Food Journey, I'm continuing my culinary journey, learning about and eating more Nigerian food. For my first stop, it's some more African delight.
Hello everybody, we're back again for part 2 of Only Local. I'm in Lekki again, and I'm with my very good friend Ghazi Okuru. She's the proprietress of African Delight Restaurants.
You're welcome to African Delight Restaurant.
Thank you so very much. I'm excited to be here again, and we're learning how to make Afang, and we're learning...
Nkwobi.
Yes, Nkwobi. Have I said it correctly?
Yes, Nkwobi.
Fantastic. So Ngozi, for people who don't know, what does Nkwobi actually mean?
Nkwobi means chopping meat into pieces. That's slicing the meat into pieces.
And what kind of meat are we going to be having today?
We are having cow foot.
Ooh, I love cow foot.
And the Afang soup.
Beautiful. Ngozi, tell me, where did you learn how to make all these fantastic recipes that you do here at the restaurant?
My mom taught me how to make all the food I make here in African Delight Restaurant.
So who makes the best Afang, Ngozi? I'm sure your mom's watching the show, so I think you have to give the right answer. Who makes the best Afang?
My mom.
Your mom makes a good answer. I'm very much looking forward to tasting it. In fact, I've had your Afang soup before, so I've already had it, guys. But now everybody gets a chance to see how it's made. So I find that nowadays, young people especially aren't really that interested in learning these old recipes from their parents. For instance, I always ask my children to, look at what I'm doing when I'm cooking. And they're there on their phones. They're like, I'm watching, Mom, but they're not really. So do you find the same thing? Do you feel that young people are sort of less interested now in, watching what we're doing in the kitchen?
Fast food is more easier for them. They go to the fast food restaurant and buy it and eat. But local food, they have to go to the market to get the ingredients, come back. At times, they go to 2 markets to find the ingredients they are going to use to cook it. So I think fast food is more easier for them. That's why they don't want to do local food. But local food is more healthy and more delicious than fast food, because fast food, you don't know how they prepare it.
So I guess that's why they call it fast food, because it's fast. So do you think, as a woman, a modern day woman, that it's still good to know how to cook very well?
Yes, of course.
Of course, I think so too. So Ngozi, do you think still that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach?
Yes, of course.
I agree with you totally. So should we take people over to see the ingredients and we can talk about them specifically? All right?
All right.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's all go and have a look at these unique ingredients which are going to be used today.
So we're over here by the ingredients now, and I'm eager to talk about them one by one. First thing that I can smell very strongly is this. Now this, in fact, the fly wants some of it too. This is dawa dawa, isn't
Yes,
it?
dawa dawa, but this one is called okbei.
Okbei.
Uh-huh.
Did you say okbehe? It is very, very pungent smelling. Okay, and we have the afang leaf. This is the raw afang leaf. And it's a strong, hardy leaf. Now I've heard that the afang leaf has to be pounded physically. Are we going to do some pounding today to see how it's done? And here we have some water leaf. Now, they call it water leaf for a specific reason. Why is that?
Because I think there's water in it, a lot of water in it.
That's right.
That's where I got the name from.
And here, first of all, this is shredded afang leaf. Okay, and here I think you have the
already pounded one.
The already pounded
this one.
And then we have the good old smoked fish here. Almost prehistoric looking with this huge head on it. Smells divine. We have palm oil. We have crayfish. Baby little crayfish. And some beef. So all of this is going into
The pot.
my afang soup today. Don't be jealous. Okay, meet us in the kitchen and beyond, where we go through the whole processing of this delicious dish. Thanks, Ghazi.
You're welcome.
Most interesting to me is to see the process that this particular leaf must go through before it's ready for the pot. First, in a traditional wooden mortar and pestle, Ngozi pounds the shredded afang leaves. It's a hardy leaf, from how it felt to the touch and how it tasted, so arm power required. As this continues, you can see the texture changing as it becomes thicker, more moist and pulpy, kind of like a green mash. Next, in the same mortar, the crayfish and okwe are crushed and beaten. It's interesting to note how varied textures are being developed and created. It's going to bring about a terrific mouthfeel to this dish. It's taken a good 10 minutes to do this the traditional way. The meat will boil in the pot and create a lovely stock, bringing more umami or savory flavor to the dish. This is smoked catfish. It must be thoroughly cleaned with a steel sponge on the outside in order to get rid of any grit. Also, the guts have to be removed so they don't mar the taste of the overall result. It's just the smoked fish taste we want. The stick she's removing is what holds the fish in a round position for smoking.
I want to have a little tiny snippet of it and see what we're dealing with. That is really rich and smoky and a deep, deep sort of flavor. Lovely. Now I see why you don't need to use things like stock cubes, etc., because every ingredient has its own pungency and its own taste. Absolutely beautiful. Shall we take a look at the meat now and see?
Okay.
Let me help you out with that. Oh, look at that.
In goes the dried ground red chili pepper.
Ooh, look at that pot get angry.
Everything looks very inviting and green. And now a splash of bright red as the palm oil is added. Yet another level of flavor to this rich dish.
So Ngozi, I noticed that you didn't close the pot. Is there a reason for that?
Yes, I didn't close it because I want the down part of it to sink first, so that when I stir it, I will still have the fresh leaf on it before adding the afang, because the afang will not stay long. I bring it down.
Right. So the afang doesn't take long to cook, you're saying?
No, because normally you don't cook leaf
For a
vegetable
long period
for a
of
long
time.
period, so that it will come out fresh.
And I'm not going to stir mine too when I make it. Right, this is the okwe and crayfish ground
Crayfish.
together. Is it time for us to add
Yes.
that in?
Yes.
Smell of this is just heavenly. Right, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So, in it goes. All of it. Leave one little drop. And then shall I give it a stir?
Yes.
Okay. Gentle stirring. Ooh, there's the fish.
Sonia, can you taste it?
I can taste it. You know, I love tasting. My favorite pastime. Let me just get my asbestos hands ready for the tasting. Ouch. Tastes
Should I
very...
add salt?
No, you don't need salt. You know I'm an advocate for very little
Okay.
salt. It tastes amazing on its own. I can taste every single flavor in it. It's perfect. Is it time for us
The
to add the afang? Okay. How much of it are we actually...
Let's add little stir and
How much? Tell me when to
like
stop.
half of it.
Half
I will
of
tell
it.
you.
A little
Add
bit
more.
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 Little more.
Yes. If it's not enough, we add more.
We'll add some more. All right. So while we were preparing the afang, Ngozi had already started boiling or has now boiled the cow foot, which is the main part of the nkwobi
Nkwobi.
we're having today. Nkwobi.
Yes.
Okay, so let's have a look at that so we can show everybody the cow foot. This is the cow foot. We'll take
The
your
nkwobi, cutting into pieces of this cow foot, reveals all the gelatinousness of this cut of beef. It's again another textural feel thing about our local food. It's all bones, joints, and healthy for you connective elements.
So now you cut up the cow leg. The other ingredients, what are they?
The ingredients are the same thing with the ishewu.
I see.
The spice mix is ready now, and it's mixed in with the cow foot, then served with a garnishing of onion and utazi leaf, just like the isiewu. The afang soup is also ready, and it's served with a beautiful helping of semovita.
You go first,
Okay.
and you can critique your own cooking. What is your verdict?
Delicious.
I got a big mouth, but I'm going to choose a small piece. My sister, just come here. Let's move it kind of like here.
Okay.
Okay, so let me see how you cut your own,
This
so they
one.
don't laugh at me. You first. Dipping in and tasting. And now, let's get some of this beautiful afang leaf into the mouth. I'm chewing. Don't hate me. Well, divine, earthly, verdant, full of natural flavor. Ghazi, thank you so much. Let me give you a kiss. Mwah. You are an amazing cook.